Coldplay threw a couple on the kiss cam. Turns out they were having an affair? I don't think even Coldplay can fix this.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on, you're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
But Coldplay hasn't made a single in years, and now they just made 2 last night.
Megan Kerrigan, wife of Astronomer CEO Andy Byron, has ignited a media firestorm with startling new revelations about what she knew and when regarding her soon-to-be ex-husband's infamous affair. Initially, Megan shared a raw and heart-wrenching post. "I don't think I'll survive this." She poured out the pain she's endured since the world witnessed that public betrayal. But the sorrow has faded. The shock has given way to a fierce, unrelenting rage. Today, we bring you the full story. Megan Kerrigan has declared no more tears, no more silence, only hard truths that leave Andy Byron with no way back. Alongside this, we provide the latest updates on her ongoing separation from the disgraced tech CEO. Stadium kiss cams are supposed to be fleeting moments of fun, not the start of a corporate disaster. Yet, in that split second, when Boston's giant screen zoomed in on Andy Byron and HR head Kristin Cabot, their careers unraveled live. An arm casually draped over a shoulder, fingers entwined in a forbidden gesture, a hesitant lean, actions no company policy could justify. Kristin froze as 60,000 eyes and a sea of cameras bore into her. Andy's instinctive crouch spoke volumes, just as Chris Martin dropped the line that detonated the entire arena. Either they're having an affair, or they're just very shy. The stadium erupted louder than the first notes of the concert. From nosebleeds to VIP suites, phones blazed like fireworks. TikTok flooded with slow-motion replays. Reddit detectives pieced together every angle. And before the encore, just Coldplaygate was trending worldwide. What started as a harmless stadium joke had morphed into Exhibit A in one of tech's most humiliating scandals. The real shock wasn't on the Jumbotron. It was unleashed online. What started as a flawlessly polished apology from Andy Byron dropped on X before the confetti even settled. It was drenched in corporate speak about shattered privacy and wrapped up with a desperate Coldplay lyric from Fix You. This statement looked authentic, with all the hallmarks of PR mastery: heartfelt tone, perfect punctuation, and a shiny blue check mark for credibility. TikTok duets echoed the words like gospel. YouTubers read it with solemn reverence. Screenshots flew across group chats worldwide, faster than the beat drop in a concert encore. But just 8 hours later, a second apology surfaced. Same name, same profile pic. But this one was a cold jab, not remorseful, but sarcastic, mocking Coldplay's retired setlist with a final sneer. The internet exploded. Was the first apology genuine? Was the second a hack? Or worse, the real Andy? Comment sections ignited into digital battlegrounds. Fan pages clashed like gladiators. Fact-checkers scoured every detail. But by then, the algorithm had crowned Chaos King online. Sincerity and sarcasm share the spotlight, if they arrive first and burn bright. By morning, news anchors flipped between quoting one post, then the other, feeding the fire with every contradiction. Every repost fanned fresh outrage. Amidst this digital inferno, one person made the quietest move, but the loudest statement. Just one quiet click on delete flipped the entire story on its head. While the internet obsessed over commas and quotes, Megan Byron chose silence over spectacle, starting a digital amputation. One moment her Facebook said, "Megan Byron," the next, Byron was gone. No tears, no cryptic captions, just a clean-cut severing 12 years of marriage. Hours later, her entire account disappeared. Instagram vanished without a trace. In a world addicted to oversharing, Megan's silent exit hit harder than any viral meltdown. That vanishing act didn't scream, it whispered. And what it said was louder than all apologies combined. She already knew. Friends revealed what many suspected. Megan saw the red flags long before anyone else. She'd saved screenshots, flagged suspicious hotel charges disguised as client dinners, and even drafted a heartbreaking post she never dared to share. "I won't survive this unless the truth comes out." Instead of posting, she hired a lawyer and waited. The kiss cam moment gave her the confirmation her gut had screamed all along. Once her last name vanished online, support for Meghan exploded across social media. What began as gossip turned into focused fury. No more popcorn takes, just real digital solidarity. That silent deletion hit harder than any press conference. In that moment, Meghan became the moral compass of the scandal. Meanwhile, Andy Byron was running out of excuses and time, because when a wife disappears online, the next thing that follows is evidence. And what Meghan was quietly collecting wasn't poetic. It was cold, time-stamped, and ready to go public. It all started with one anonymous spreadsheet dropped on Reddit at 2:17 a.m. Low-res, but loaded with details. One column listed Uber charges pinging Kristin Cabot's apartment. Another tracked back-to-back hotel stays just a block from Astronomer's quarterly offsite. Digital detectives immediately cross-referenced those charges with Andy Byron's keynote appearances, revealing a mysterious 3-hour gap between sessions. Coincidence? TikTok wasn't buying it. Then the Slack leaks hit. Late-night messages like, "Need to de-stress after that demo? You free?" seemed harmless until paired with those hotel invoices. Another text, "Room 722 again." Suddenly, the skeptics were forced to connect the dots. The dam burst wide open. Expense reports labeled as client entertainment filed on weekends. Corporate Amex charges at a boutique florist in Kristin's neighborhood, always every other Friday. Security badge logs added fuel to the fire, showing the CEO and head of HR swiping into headquarters after midnight, just 15 minutes apart. The puzzle wasn't subtle anymore. The pieces fit too perfectly, too deliberately. Every new leak hit like a sniper shot. Just as public outrage simmered down, another document dropped and reignited the flames. Mainstream media scrambled to catch up, but TikTok detectives were already miles ahead, stitching together Google Maps routes, concert seating charts, and LinkedIn travel selfies into a full forensic docuseries. Memes once praising Andy Byron as a data genius now mockingly read, "data time-stamped." Astronomer's official channels fell completely silent, but the pressure inside the company was boiling over. Slack groups rebranded themselves. One called 7 Stitney to Watch pinned a harsh reminder, HR rules apply to everyone. Investors began calling frantically, yet the PR team offered no answers. With every leaked receipt, one thing became painfully clear. This was no longer mere gossip. This was concrete evidence. The scandal had escalated from a personal betrayal to a full-blown credibility crisis for Astronomer. Once insiders sensed weakness, they didn't just leak receipts. They exposed the entire toxic culture. Screenshots surfaced that did more than prove an affair. They ripped the company wide open. Former employees, who once whispered privately in DMs, began posting openly on Blind and Glassdoor. A 2023 review titled "Brilliant Product, Brutal Leadership" suddenly read like a prophecy. Threads exploded with stories of grueling demands. 19 demo rehearsals for a single launch, urgent 3 a.m., Slack pings, and quarterly goals so extreme they required official burnout disclaimers. One former engineer even leaked a private Slack channel called "Jang Stay Till It Ships," where Andy Byron allegedly tracked who stayed online and shamed anyone logging off before midnight. Then came the viral video, an old shaky clip from an all-hands meeting, showing Byron pacing like a wannabe TED speaker, preaching radical candor before snapping at a junior developer over a single pixel being off. This wasn't just a CEO scandal. It was the unraveling of an entire company's soul. The internet blew up overnight, dubbing it "Kiss Cam Karma." Suddenly, the whole picture snapped into focus. The man who shrank under stadium lights was the architect of a toxic culture where optics mattered more than substance. Investors started dialing in with tough questions. Business partners quietly scrubbed congratulatory tweets. Recruiters flooded LinkedIn with messages like, "Rough week, we're hiring." Inside Astronomer, morale cratered. Employees renamed the company Astronomer After Dark, turning internal Slack channels into a public archive of every buried HR complaint, some stretching back years. Because when the top falls, every ignored memo becomes a smoking gun. And remember, the woman in that infamous kiss cam moment wasn't just any employee, she was the head of HR. So what happens when the watchdog gets cozy with the very boss she's supposed to hold accountable? The fallout for Kristin Cabot was just beginning. At most companies, HR is the firewall, the final line of defense. At Astronomer, that firewall ignited the fire. Kristin once boasted on LinkedIn about earning the CEO's trust faster than a product demo. Now that post is flooded with clown emojis and snarky captions like, "Well, she wasn't lying." Trust inside Astronomer collapsed overnight. Anonymous Slack groups exploded with messages like, "If HR's on the kiss cam, who do we escalate to?" Old complaints, once locked in confidential files, resurfaced as live Google Docs, spreading like underground newsletters. Every mandatory boundaries presentation suddenly felt like a cruel joke, because the woman teaching those rules was caught hugging the rule breaker. Legally, the optics were radioactive. If their relationship was undisclosed, regulators and insurers would want to know, were performance reviews, raises, or promotions compromised? One slip-up in disclosure could unravel every NDA, every harassment claim, and every termination, dragging the company through costly legal battles. Plaintiff firms smelled blood and started tweeting, "Worked at Astronomer, call us." Kristin's response, deafening silence. Her Twitter went private, LinkedIn froze, and sources say she's following legal counsel's advice, usually code for serious liability on the horizon. Board members scrambled into an emergency session with outside legal counsel as whispers circulated about administrative leave pending a full investigation. Yet no official statement was released, just thick silence and a growing cloud of questions. With HR's credibility shattered, every policy and procedure suddenly looked like ammunition for a courtroom battle. The company's compliance mechanism stalled, and in the deafening silence, perception quickly morphed into judgment. Employees darkly renamed the HR Slack channel DH Resources. Respect vanished, and memes took over. Investors watched in horror as a full corporate governance meltdown unfolded live before their eyes. The watchdog wasn't just asleep, it was caught on camera sharing popcorn with the thief. As Astronomer's internal collapse intensified, the external world prepared to unleash its own scorched earth response. Late-night comedians pounced, finding their freshest punchlines. The internet had already built the stage. Now the spotlight was on. Jimmy Fallon kicked things off with a grin, airing a parody kiss cam featuring cardboard CEOs hiding behind spreadsheets. The crowd erupted in laughter. Stephen Colbert deadpanned, "HR, now it stands for Hug Ready," before rolling a montage of Coldplay lyrics rewritten as breakup emails. Within hours, Saturday Night Live teaser clips leaked, turning that fateful stadium kiss into a mock deposition. Kristin was recast as Compliance Cupid, firing arrows straight into onboarding manuals. The scandal had transcended news cycles. It was now cultural theater, and the world was watching every act. Each joke etched the scandal deeper into pop culture, turning it into an unstoppable meme machine. Etsy exploded with Coldplay Gate merch, hoodies, Fix You mugs, and stickers mocking Andy's duckaway move captioned, "Algorithm Error." Hashtags like "Saksar's Wishes Fro Romance" trended overnight. Meme accounts paired the infamous hug with stock workplace training slides, turning a corporate crisis into viral comedy gold. Even Elon Musk chimed in, "Live by the data, die by the kiss cam." The humor made the scandal stick, facts blur, but punchlines echo until they become the new truth. Every joke made Astronomer's silence look less like a strategy and more like a confession. Behind those glass walls, the silence was fracturing, because when laughter fades, shareholders sharpen their knives. Silence might stall the press, but inside a company, it's a ticking time bomb. Just 48 hours after the kiss cam went viral, Astronomer's board finally acted. An icy 8-line press release dropped. Andy Byron was out, effective immediately. No gratitude, no future plans, just a dead email bouncing back. Kristin Cabot was placed on administrative leave, pending an independent review. Lawyers circled, deciding who would be the first overboard. Pete DeJoy, co-founder, stepped in as interim CEO with a clear mission: stop the bleeding. No town halls, no pep talks, just immediate cost freezes and hiring a crisis PR firm so expensive their invoices came with carbon offsets. The investor call was a 5-minute calm before a 30-minute chaos storm. Enterprise clients demanded answers. Who signed compliance docs while HR was busy playing date night with the CEO? Behind closed doors, Astronomer's valuation quietly plummeted by 9 figures. Competitors seized the moment, posting job ads targeting engineers burned out by midnight Slack pings. Inside the company, the power vacuum erupted into factional warfare. Finance wanted control, product demanded vision, legal sought anyone who wouldn't end up in depositions. Friday's all-hands meeting was a Q&A bloodbath. Will reviews be redone? Who investigates HR? Are bonuses safe? Pete Joy's answers, half legalese, half vague, left everyone unsettled. By Monday, LinkedIn saw a 300% spike in resume updates. The data-driven company was now flying blind, the analytics wizard gone, along with the trust behind every metric. And it all started with one 30-second hug on a giant stadium screen. So what's the real cost of a moment like that? Could your CEO be next? Stay tuned. The final dots are about to connect. One hug, one stadium, $1 billion empire shattered in seconds. In 2025, image is everything, and it crumbles the moment integrity slips, a CEO's flawless persona erased. An HR chief turned legal liability. A wife's silent name change speaks louder than any press release. Receipts demolish spin. Memes ignite market panic. And silence screams louder than words. Next time you see a kiss cam, remember, every Zoom is a loaded weapon. Every public moment can become Exhibit A power. No longer hides behind closed boardroom doors. It hides in plain sight, waiting for a stranger to hit record. If one concert clip can obliterate careers overnight, just imagine what your phone might expose tomorrow. Want the next explosive breakdown before it breaks the internet? Hit subscribe. Ring the bell. The algorithm's already primed for its next viral implosion. Thanks for watching all the way through. See you again soon.